Hi,
Hi.
I'm a friend of Marcel. Marcel Proust.
Yes, I know. It's a nice day.
Yes, it is. And is life nice?
That's all we've got.
Shall we speak about matters spiritual?
The masters say that if one asks about the Tao and another answers, neither of them knows it. I have no hesitation in admitting that I do not know the truth. So you can proceed at your own risk if you wish.
What does spirituality mean to you?
A striving to apprehend the unfragmented reality of the universe and to live without ever losing sight of it.
Is that all?
Yes, the world is a single event. The same laws, from what we know, govern the universe from one edge to the other. So, reality is one entity and not an assemblage. It is we who use the same old trick we have found of breaking down a world we don't understand into parts and pieces. But parts and pieces are different from their totality. Truth is, things and events are not units of nature, they are units of thought. And the world is not to be conceived in the mind, but experienced such as it is, whole. Now, despite actually being a single integrated consciousness, which we are, if we live playing different roles at different times, or respond to isolated events without heed to the larger context, our desires will be unrealistic, our actions are bound to be contradictory, and our emotions will always put us under stress. The only way out of this difficulty is to recognize, acknowledge, and embrace the whole.
Is it that simple?
That's all there is to it, I think. The difficulty, though, is that reality, if we try to only understand it, is so overwhelming that it appears and may well be outside the possibility of comprehension. Physicists tell us we don't even have a plain familiar language to describe this unitary reality. Our everyday language is born of the same way we routinely conceive and perceive the world, and that further entrenches the idea of a fragmented entity. But one can attempt to look beyond those fragments and illusions and try to experience the entirety of the universe, holding in our minds everything we know and have learned, everything we have experienced of life in this universe, individually and collectively over the ages, and live being true to it all every moment. Reaching there would be enlightenment. Spirituality is only the approach and the path to that goal.
How do you know reality is beyond comprehension?
Because the answers to some of the most basic and fundamental questions can still not be found. Questions to which it seems we are, by design, not supposed to know the answers. These are the simplest and most obvious age-old ones that we are all aware of. Who are we? Or what are we really? Where do we come from? Where are we going? What are we here for? We know that there are definite limits to the physical universe laid down by strict laws that seem to govern it. There clearly is what scientists call the cosmic censorship hypothesis. The fact that nothing in the universe can travel faster than the speed of light suggests that there is a limit that has been set, a cosmic constant. There's no denying that a curtain has been drawn beyond which we cannot look or know what happens. We cannot go back into the past nor look into the future. Actually, we do not even know for certain if there is a past, present, and a future. And even if they exist, it might well be that they do all together concurrently, somewhat like a reel of film in which the beginning, middle, and end are all there at the same time. It's only that we see them projected in a sequence. Or maybe time has even more dimensions. It is quite possible that linearity is a quality of consciousness, of the mind, most likely the left hemisphere of the brain, as some believe, rather than being an attribute of time or of the actual physical world. In exploring and understanding the expanse and detail of the universe, we are acutely constrained by our sense organs. So, we've devised sophisticated tools, far-reaching probes, and sensitive instruments to take us beyond those limited sensory perceptions. Yet, we are aware of very little of what is out there. However, even within these limits and uncertainties, it is a world to marvel at. I am greatly moved by the nighttime sky. What seem to us as little shining dots in it are not just innumerable heavenly bodies of enormous size at immense and unimaginable distances, but also that at any single moment when we see them together in the same frame, they are actually seen as they were at different points in time, all in the past. One star that is 1 billion light years away appears as it was 1 billion years ago, because the light from it takes that long to reach us. Another that we see alongside might be closer and seems in its state, let's say, 10 million years ago. And the one next to it could be nearer still, so it shows itself as it was only a few thousand years ago, and we know that the closest one, the sun, we can only see in its condition 8 minutes before we look at it, because that's the time its light takes to reach us on Earth. So it is not just a grand spectacle in space, but also a quiet display of the hidden suppleness of time. The laws of the cosmos do not allow us any way of even apprehending the universe as it actually exists now, at this or any moment, let alone comprehending it across time. That the world as we perceive it is an illusion is not just some spiritual bunkum. It is a hard scientific fact that the real world of matter is mostly empty space between elementary particles, has no smell, no taste, no sound, no color. These experiences are only our own sensory interpretations, denoting the presence of energy, only signals reaching the brain through its attendant organs. They are mere constructions conjured up by the brain in the sensory language of the body as it communicates with consciousness. They are related to, but are not properties of the world. If we could somehow get out of our bodies and meet reality as it actually is out there, we would not be able to recognize it, say the scientists. No wonder they can only express it through abstract means using mathematical equations that just describe some aspects of it. Despite all our tools, our intelligence and imagination, the known remains so minuscule compared to the unknown. Not to speak of the unknowable, which must be acknowledged, since uncertainty is an intrinsic characteristic of this marvelous but mysterious creation. Its unknowability from the human vantage certainly seems to be a basic property of the cosmos. It is clear, at least to me, that the reality of the universe is both elusive and illusory,